Today guys, we're talking about a golf ball that's ranked highly for both low speeds and high speeds. It's a three-piece urethane ball and we're going to be testing it today with myself as the high speed, and we've got our mid-handicapper Dave who's grinning behind because he knows I'm going to say he's the man for the slow speed. So let's get him in here, let's test it out, let's see what we can score with this golf ball. A three-piece ball might not be the ball that we would suggest for Dave, but the low spin could put a little bit of a twist on it. And guys, we are talking about the Maxfli, the Maxfli Tour S golf ball. So the Tour S golf ball, this is a golf ball that is low spin. You can see on MyGolf Spy, it ranks highly for both low swing speeds and high swing speeds. So again, low spin. Is that something that you want? For Dave, we potentially want to get something that's low spin so he maximises distance, because we know Dave's going to be relying more on landing angle than spin into the greens. So let's see what he can do here with his 5-wood. And that is a fantastic drawing shot, Dave. I'm laughing because it's a surprise. It's Dave's first shot of the day, and we...
it's always a surprise, because it doesn't matter whether it's first or last.
Right. I'm going to join you, Dave. I'm going to wood off here as well.
That's just so that you can prove to everybody how far you hit it past me.
Well, this is a 7, we'll just get that in there early.
Oh,
right guys, so think about it, when you're choosing your golf ball, you need to make sure that it's going to tick a few boxes. I know on this channel we have said that maybe a urethane cover, such as the Kirkland's, is not the right ball for Dave, but if we can get something that ranks highly for low spin, as long as we've got Dave set up right in his clubs, especially going through this winter, making sure he's got the perfect bag for next year, then this golf ball could work perfectly for him. So this is what you've got to think. A golf ball has to match your clubs, has to match what you're wanting to see. And for people like Dave's swing speed, you rely more on landing angle than spin, which is pretty much what I'm doing as well. Again, a nice high launch.
Shot.
Feels fantastic. 2 good opening shots there, Dave.
Always a surprise.
And again, we know Maxfli isn't a brand that you can find in the UK. You do have to buy them off Amazon, and they might be at a higher price, but it is worth checking those because these are a great ball. Maxfli is something that disappeared for a long time here in the UK, but will it make a return next year? Certainly be interesting. So guys, obviously going through the winter, you want to be looking at what setup you're going to go for club-wise next year, but also a big thing to look at is your golf ball. I would prefer people to use the same golf ball throughout the year. Yes, we know we always find the occasional Pro V1 and we always want to use it. We probably find more Slazingers and Dunlops more than likely here in the UK, but if you do find that golf ball, don't always use it. Use something that you're consistent with. You know the ball flight, you know what you're going to get, you know how it's going to react on the green, because that's going to help you lower your scores without really doing anything except for having a consistent golf ball. So Dave down here in position A in the fairway. I'm just a little bit further on with the 60 yards Dave was just saying there, so it's not about that, Dave. It's not about distance, it's about the score at the end of the hole.
Yeah, and you know, I probably get a shot here and you obviously don't, because you're a professional. Right,
let's clean and place then, Dave, and then we've got a tricky shot here into the green. So we're going to see what Dave's going to do. It's looking like it could be a hybrid. So it is clean and place here in the UK at the moment, so please do take advantage of that. Obviously having a dry golf ball and a dry club face is going to help you hit better shots. And if you're playing winter competitions still, you're going to be able to get the scores that you should do, not from having mud and a wet golf ball. So Dave's got his 5 hybrid here. It's a tough green to hit here at Woolley. Let's see what this ball does for him. It's a low one. So it's a low spinner. Running just short of the green, Dave. So interesting. Yeah. Didn't launch. I'd say that was more you.
Oh, it's always me, Chris.
It's always you. But again, relatively wise, we're going to see how it does chipping, because that's a big thing that you obviously want to have a golf ball to do, even at your handicap.
Very true.
So guys, I'm going to do the same clean and place here. For me, I've got 110 yards, so it's going to be a pitching wedge. And for me, obviously with this kind of golf ball, if you are a lower handicap golfer, you're thinking about ball flight. So you're thinking, can we obviously flight this down? It is a 3-piece urethane cover, so naturally it should obviously launch that little bit lower, but you've got to make sure and test that out on the golf course. Does the golf ball and the flight suits your eye? If you see that you think, okay, I've got a good strike there, but it's actually launched a little bit higher than a Pro V1, then maybe it's not a golf ball for you. Obviously price wise it is coming in substantially cheaper if you can get them, obviously more in the States than you are in the UK, but if they do come to the UK, they could be a great option. Obviously in the winter, guys, you might not use this kind of golf ball, you might not use an expensive urethane ball, you might go to something that's a little bit cheaper, and I totally understand that. I know that obviously I've just said that you should use the same ball, but you can easily lose golf balls in the winter just by plugging, so Pro V1s might not be the best bet, the Maxfli's might not be the best bet. You might want to go for something like the Kirkland that is cheaper for your winter golf ball. It's the same kind of cover, but it's cheaper, and overall it's going to save you more money through the winter. Unfortunately, we all lose golf balls. So a good flight there, coming back nicely, and pin high. So for me, obviously, I know they're a good strike. I know their distance wise it should go the same because it's a 3-piece ball and a urethane cover, the same as the Pro V1 that I normally use. So I know my distances. If you're somebody who's changing from maybe a 2-piece ball and ionomer cover to this golf ball, it might take some getting used to. So this is where you get it out on a golf course on a good day and start to test it for distances. You might then need to go for a lesson, check your yardages, and make sure that it's right for you. So Dave's ball here has left him a nice tricky shot up this slope. So again, here obviously a low spinning golf ball. A lot of people start to think about spin here, but for Dave it's more about a landing angle. He's going to try and land it probably in the first half of the green towards that flag. Pretty good shot from there, Dave.
I'll take that.
Up there to around about 10 feet, so you certainly take that. Carried a little bit further than he wanted, but got the reaction you'd expect. For me, guys, my golf ball has pitched there, which is just around about pin high, but you can see that it stopped pretty quickly. It hasn't spun back. So on wet greens in the winter, what we normally see is that ball would have spun back potentially if you're using something like a Pro V1X with a little bit more spin. That could come back. The lower spin there is stopped, so it's much easier for me to control my distance. So again, if you're somebody who is a lower handicapper, or your goal is to get into single figures and you're playing your pitch shots a little bit more positive, then this could be a great golf ball. Or look at an alternative, look at a golf ball that is a little less low spinning. Just make sure you know your carry numbers, because that's gone pin high and it's giving me a chance. Okay guys, so like I mentioned on the previous Maxfli golf ball, alignment aid for me is not thick enough. Once we get into this kind of port, yes, we can line it up, but then we don't really see it once it's in a roll. And for feedback wise, that just lets this golf ball down a little bit for me, because this kind of golfer, any kind of level, obviously, we want to see that we're getting some feedback from our golf ball. We want to see that we can use it to start to break down why we haven't holed a putt, why we might have missed it to the left or to the right. For me there, a good strike, felt like a good roll, but I'm not so sure. It's a par for me, but alignment aid lets it down. But obviously at the same time, you could say that about the Pro V1. The alignment aid isn't thick unless you pay for that different alignment aid you can get on there. So Dave's in here now. Let's see how he does. Good putt.
Ooh, robbed.
Just need a little bit more, Dave. But you would have got a half, so knock that in. You do get a shot on here. That is a 5 for 4. Let's move on. Okay, so par 3 now. Dave, hole square. So Dave, off the putter, obviously, how did it feel back there on that hole?
It felt softer than the hex I've been using. You know, I've bought some of those Callaway hex balls from Costco.
Man of Costco himself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kirkland glove. But it felt good. It felt really good. But as you said before, I'm sort of betwixt and between as to what to do with what ball to play in the winter, because you don't like losing something that's really expensive. So
no, exactly.
I'm a bit tight like that.
And that's why you've been to Costco, and that's why many people will go to Costco. So, okay guys, this is a softer feeling ball off the face. It certainly felt good to me. Obviously the alignment aid is something we discussed. So Dave got his flight from the 5-wood. He got a nice penetrating ball flight. What about an iron? A little bit of movement on his stance, but that's a 7-iron, and that was a nice solid strike, Dave.
Yeah, happy with that.
Ball flight was pretty solid as well there.
Yeah, like you say, could do something about the balance, but that's not to do with the ball, is it?
No, he's getting his tee. He's not leaving a tee behind.
I'm not, no. Times are hard.
So that's a great point there, obviously, for Dave. Obviously, it's all about getting the right flight. Yes, it feels soft, but in the winter, does he want to lose an expensive golf ball? Nobody wants to lose an expensive golf ball any time of the year, but especially in the winter where you could hit a good shot and it's just plugged. So, ball flight there, though, for me, for Dave, was pretty good. So, obviously, maybe not as high as a two-piece golf ball, but he's got the distance. When we get up there, I think that should be pretty close because it was straight at it. And it was a little bit of a low strike on the face there. So interestingly enough there, he's still got a good flight. So the three-piece urethane cover here is working for that lower swing speed. It doesn't mean instantly you have to go to a two-piece golf ball. So this one is working good. But we know with the Kirkland, it's a high spinning golf ball. So Dave there might lose some distance. Again, into the greens, he might get a little bit of spin when he's not expecting it. So that's why we maybe wouldn't recommend the Kirkland. Although for value for money, it is great. But if it's not helping you golf, it's not the ball for you. Again, that looks 2 shots pretty close.
You know, I can't have anything of my own.
Right, let's see this. Dave, are you off 13 or 14, Dave?
World handicap is 13.
Does that mean you get 14 here, or do you get 13?
I don't know, because I didn't look at the
We're going to say Dave gets 13, because this is stroke index 14.
Oh, we would, wouldn't we?
And I think I've hit it close. So let's get up there and let's have a look. Right, Dave just said some words they wouldn't be able to put on YouTube.
Well, we don't know which is which, because
we're
we're both using the same ball.
Have a look. Dave's was on a little bit more of a righter line, so that's Dave's obviously just here short. We can see where Dave's has pitched actually. Dave's has pitched just short, and it's ran up nicely to this one here, and we can see my golf ball again struck well, but that's pitched and gone forwards a couple of yards and stopped. So for me there again, spin control absolutely fantastic, exactly what I would want from a golf ball. I don't want to see it back, although a lot of people do. I want to see it just bounce and stop. I can control my distance, I can give myself better chances, and I should be able to finish Dave off here. So Dave, your thoughts on the alignment aid?
It's not great, Chris.
No.
I was just saying, you almost feel like lining it up on the actual Maxfli bit.
You think you get a little bit more? You've got the blue dot on there, or the blue number. So yeah, let's do it that way.
I'll give it a go.
Let's see.
I'm still not sure this is my ball, but you know.
We're 100% sure it's your ball, Dave. We can know 100% sure that's not your putter, Dave, because Dave didn't bring his putter from the vehicle today, so he is borrowing a swag putter today.
I asked you what clubs you wanted me to bring.
Well, do you not need a putter?
Putter was not mentioned.
Oh, obviously you don't need a putter in golf, everyone. Comment below. Whose fault was it, mine or Dave's?
It's never your fault, Chris, it can't be.
Let's see how this swag putter gets the ball rolling for Dave. A little bit of a right to lefter here. He needs this, I think.
Oh, you're joking. I've seen you miss loads from that distance.
It's a sneaker half. And it's short again.
Short
Dave.
again?
It's short. There's plenty left on that as well, Dave. Right,
well, it might not matter if you put that in.
I know, I'll put you out of your misery, Dave.
You can have that, though.
Ooh, it had a good roll on it there. I could see that, but that's only because it was on a shorter putt. And obviously, shorter putts, yes, you do want to hold, but the long ones you need to break down why you maybe have deviated too far. Right, Dave. To get out of here with a half.
How did that miss?
Right guys, Dave's going to cry himself to sleep, but a great golf ball there from Maxfli. Obviously in the UK that you can't get this ball as of yet. Hopefully they do bring it to the market over here, because I do think it's a fantastic auction, and at the price it's a great saving for a premium golf ball. A three-piece golf ball, a urethane cover with low spin. So if you're looking for distance, if you're looking into the greens to have a little bit more control and you're getting too much spin, it's something certainly to consider. And for this man, it certainly did well, Dave. Obviously, the distance-wise was good. Obviously,
I can't blame it for three putting, Chris. That's me, and pretty much all the shots are me. But I felt it's a decent ball. It feels really nice off the face.
And the flight of the
no, the flight were good. You know, yeah. I wasn't expecting it to go quite as high. Both with the 5 wood off that tee, the first tee, and the 7-iron that 8 off the tee here.
Yeah, perfect. So guys, certainly look out for these golf balls. We will be bringing you Dave's top 5 golf balls of the year up to Christmas, because we're going to talk through what golf ball Dave potentially will use next year, unless he goes to America, I can't see him using the Maxfli, unfortunately, although I am going, so he might give me a tenner to try and get him some. But we're going to go through some different golf balls, guys, some 2-piece golf balls, some 3-piece golf balls that could work for your game, could be perfect if you have the similar speed to Dave, and we'll see you then.